Lesson, that is key technologies of SAP HANA. In this lesson we are going to discuss about the different types of tables, uh, column table, row table, difference between column table and row table, how HANA is going to compress the data, and what is multi-tenant, what is container based access in SAP system, and then we will be having exercise to uh, check the HANA related project. We are going to import a HANA related project in our next exercise. So now we move to our next lesson, key technologies of SAP HANA. In this we are going to first discuss about what is row and column based tables and how the compression is happening, what is a delta merge, and we will discuss the project in SAP HANA, how to create a development project in SAP HANA. Okay, so very important concept is row and column table. So I am just creating a table here first. This is, suppose I am having a table, which table is having the sales data related to multiple countries. I am having the sales data related to multiple countries here. Or we can say the employee related data we can also like mention here. It is a employee related data also. In employee related data we are having different employees working on different location. So we are having employee ID, employee number or employee ID, employee country, the country they belong, and because suppose this is a multinational company which is present in multiple countries, and we have the uh, salary. So this table contains, suppose, three columns. In this three columns we are having employee number, country, and salary. So if this table is going to store in memory or disk, everything is stored into the linear format. Linear format means in this format. So the data is stored into the blocks. So if we are going to store this table into row format, what is the difference between row format and column format? We will see here. We can store this information into row format, row table, or we can store this information into the column format. This is our column format. So what is the row and column? Just first let me put some entry here. Employee number 1, country Egypt, salary 4,000 USD.
It's minor salary. Minor one.
Minor one. Okay.
Make it 10,000.
10,000.
This salary for an office boy, يا محمد.
Okay. 40,000. 40.
This column.
Okay, so like this we are having different countries, they have the different IDs, and they have the different salaries in different country for different employees. Okay, so if we are going to store this information into a row format, what will happen into the row format and what will happen into the column format? So if it is going to store into the row format, so row format, first entry would be 1, yes, number 1 would be there, then second entry would be Egypt, then the salary. So it is like this, and then we will be having the Egypt, and then we will be having the salary 4,000.
Similar to Excel, huh?
Yes, similar to this one. In the memory it is, but when we are going to store into the column, so first entry would be columns. All columns will come together. All columns like number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2, all columns will come together, and the salary will come here. All the salary will come here. 40,000, 50,000, like whatever it is, 40,000. Now we got 10,000. Now management want to understand what is the salary of all employees. If management want to make a query, what is the salary of all employees uh, for a uh, so in this case they have to read each and every row, but in this case they are going to read on a particular subset. They are going to read on the particular subset only. Here they have to read this link, this link, this link. So column tables are good for read and analysis purpose. These tables are good for read and analysis purpose, and these tables are good for writing purpose. For writing purpose, these tables are good. Row tables are good for write purpose. Read and analysis purpose, we are having the column tables. And HANA goes further, like rather than Egypt, suppose we are writing Egypt. So Egypt, Egypt, Egypt is having how many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 characters. 5 characters. So 5 characters, suppose one character take 2 byte. So total 10 bytes it is going to store. Same way if I using India, India is going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 characters, total 12 bytes. So rather than uh, having this information, HANA will create a dictionary. HANA will create a dictionary. In this dictionary, it will say that Egypt number 25. 25 is equal to Egypt. And then it is wherever the Egypt is there, it is going to write 25. In this way, it can store the
Suppose we are talking about 10,000 employee or talking about material master with 100,000
yes, right.
You can imagine the data. It looks like
Yes, yes, it will automatically done the compression. So you don't have to worry about like compression. So that's why in HANA we have seen that it can compress the data. So this is the compression logic. This is the compression logic. We have seen that HANA can compress the data compression. Whatever the database tables are there, HANA can compress the data. HANA will automatically create the dictionary of like repeated values. Like if you are having country, table, material master, in the material master repeated material is there or repeated entry is there. So it is going to create a dictionary, and with that dictionary it can replace the value of that with the dictionary value. In this way it can do the compression also. So that is our next lesson that we are going to see now, how the key technologies of SAP HANA, how HANA is going to compress the data, and how it is going to load the data into SAP HANA system. So row and column storage. So here you can see better representation. We are having a table: person, team, bonus, person, Tina, team, belong to team A, bonus is 10, Bob A, bonus 20. Now we can store this data into row table or column table. If we are going to say the row table, so first row, everything is written into the linear format. So first row, Tina A, then bonus, Bob A, bonus. And if we are going to store into column table, so person related column, team related column, and bonus related column. So now you want to see the bonus of all the employees, so you can just read it from here. So it is good for the performance reason, analysis purpose, this is good. Compression table, HANA can compress the table by, like suppose here you can see the logical table: order, country, product, sales. So HANA will automatically create a dictionary. In this dictionary it will mention like number 1 is equal to Belgium. So rather than writing Belgium 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 characters multiplied by 2, 14 bytes. Rather than 14 bytes, it is going to use only 1 byte. So 14 byte is equal to 1 byte. It means 14 times compression. 14 times, 20 times, sometime no compression also. So average we can say 5 to 6 times compression it can do. Then parallel processing. we can distribute the data. Suppose we are having like processing has to be done, and we are having the data from 2010 to 2023. So 13 years data we are having, we can process yearly data. So we can partition the table into yearly basis, and we can distribute this table to the multiple places. Then HANA can use as a like in HANA systems we can use a disaster recovery also system. So if suppose we are using the disaster recovery system is primary site we are running from Egypt, disaster recovery site is in Singapore. So both site can be used for active rather than active passive. Both site can be used for active. In this active, primary site is used for read and write purpose. Secondary site will be only used for the read purpose. So in that case you can do the load balancing of the data. That is also possible. You can do the secondary site for the read. This kind of landscape we are going to set up in HA201 class. There you are going to set up the HA and DR site, high availability and disaster recovery. Then what is delta merge? Now we will see the delta merge. It is very important concept. So you will now understand whatever the data is stored into the data volume, it is, so we are having data volume. Under this data volume we are having a table. This table is having employee and employee salary. We are having
Sanjay,
yeah.
table partitioning, it is handled by the system, or I can assign some field to be in partition 1 and some other field in partition 2?
Yes, it is not handled by the system. You have to manually assign. Table partitioning has to be done by you. System will not automatically done. The compression can be done. Compression can be done by system automatically, but partitioning is not done by system. Compression automatic. You don't have to perform the compression automatically. Compression will be done automatic by creating dictionary. But partitioning you have to do. Partitioning we have to do. We have three types of partition: hash, range, and round robin. So we have to partition the data. We can partition the data according to the range. We can specify. We have a partition from 2010 to 2018. We have a partition from 2019 to 2020. We have another partition from 2020 to 2023. Hash we can specify. We have a huge data set. We can say only okay, partition into 3 parts or 4 parts. Round robin 3 parts and 4 parts. The difference between hash and round robin is hash require the primary key. If a table does not have the primary key, you cannot do the hash partitioning there. So partitioning is done by the manually. We have to do manual partitioning. It is not done by the system automatically. While compression is automatic. Compression is automatic. Our next concept is delta merge. So what is delta merge? Here we are going to see. So whatever the data here in the data volume, it is compressed format, right? It is in the compressed format. Can we write into the compressed format?
Can you?
We can write into the compressed format?
Yeah.
No, we cannot. Say suppose we are having a zip file. We cannot write into the zip file. So in the compressed data we cannot write. So it has to first uncompress. So we cannot write into the compressed data. So first it has to uncompress. So the uncompressed part is known as delta. The uncompressed part is known as delta. So the uncompressed part, so whenever we are going to write here, So write is also known as insert. Insert. In the technical terms, it is known as insert. So whenever we are having insert, we have to write it into the delta part. And after delta, compressed part is known as compressed part is known as main. Compressed part will be known as main, then it will be merged. After writing, this will be merge. Uncompressed part will compress here, that is known as merge, and then after merge it will write back again to the merge, and then it will write back into the. So whenever we want to write anything, so first it is going to delta part. In delta part it is going to uncompress, and insert will happen into the delta part. After the, when you have completed all the writing, then merge will happen. Uncompress, it is going to compress, and then again it is going to return back to the data volume. So in this way whole process is going to work. Okay, so yeah, so delta merge, write operations happens into the delta, and after delta it is going to merge into the main part. Multi-tenant means like it's like similar to a multi-story building. In multi-story building we are having different floors. So in HANA database management software, we are having a system database. Under system database we will be having multiple tenants are there. So you can use those tenant to store the applications. Like suppose we are having a multi-story building. In multi-story building, story 11 for IBM, story 12 for Accenture, and we are having a ground floor. Ground floor is system DB. From system DB we can create multiple tenant databases.
So in this scenario, how the tenant database synchronize with the system database?
No. System
Because we
database.
have different database for tenant now. It is not connected in this diagram with the
Yes.
system database.
So system database don't have to synchronize. So all the data is here. This application related data will be stored here. So they don't have to synchronize there.
Yani let's say we have an extra database for HANA. So how is the tenant database connected with HANA database?
No, these are the HANA databases. These are the HANA database. These are the HANA database. Tenant database is HANA database. Tenant database is HANA database. Okay, I think. Okay. Tenant database is the HANA database. So, okay. So if we are having multiple applications are here, suppose we got S4 HANA. So whenever suppose I am installing a HANA server, what is happening here? Suppose I am going to install the HANA software. When I install the HANA software, we will be having two databases. When I am going to install the HANA software, we will be having two databases. One is the system database, only one database. And from here, we can create the tenant. From system database, we can create a tenant database. So I can log in into the system database directly here, and I can create the tenant database. Like you log in into the ground floor, and from ground floor you created a tenant database. I created a tenant database 1, and I have attached this application to the tenant 1. Now I want to create another tenant database. I can create another tenant database, tenant 2, and these are the HANA databases. Tenant databases are known as HANA database. So we got BW application. BW application is using tenant 2. What is your question? What, if any doubt you are having, please let me know.
This this looks like a SQL Server database.
Yeah,
It's
and any
السيرفر الان الهنا work in memory and the SQL work in طبعا on prem or on server.
yeah, every database is almost same. Like database is a collection of data, and
Yeah.
they will be having some processes. But
Mm.
in this case, like in other database, what happens? Suppose in other databases, any database, SQL database, Oracle database, MaxDB database. Suppose multiple applications want to connect here. Suppose I just take the example here. We got S4 HANA, we got BW application, BW application. Suppose these are the different databases. This is very important concept you have asked. Oracle, we have MaxDB, we are having SQL Server, many databases. So what is the difference between here and HANA database? What is the concept of tenant? Now we can see with this diagram. So here we have only one database. We are having like one database, but in the database we can create the schema. We can have the
Yes.
schema. So one
Yes. We
is
can call the tenant.
not schema and tenant is different thing. So this is the different thing here. So schema, so here schema and tenant is different thing. So here in the one database you can create multiple schemas. So here we can create one database have two schema 1, schema 1, and we got schema number 2. But the database we are having only one. So we can take the backup schema 2. So we can have two schema here. But suppose we want to take a backup. Is it possible to take the backup on schema level? Can we take the backup on schema level?
Yes, I can take a backup for schema level.
Schema level backup is not possible. Schema
Yeah, it's good.
possible? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe in other databases, suppose we want to do the recovery if we want to recover the schema 1. So schema 2 will be affected or not affected?
It will not affect.
You have to shut down the whole database.
Yes, sure.
Yes, that's why I'm asking. But in this case, we don't have to. Suppose I want to recovery of tenant 2 database. Tenant 1 will not be affected. It is like completely independent floor. So in this case, we have the complete isolation. So tenant is having more, tenant is having more isolation than
This is the first thing.
schema.
The difference.
Yeah.
Yes. Other
So
thing is the compression and the data manipulation.
yes. So tenant is having more isolation than this. Other things are same like compression and other things. It will depend on the database to database. Compression and other things.
البلد كلها اجازه وانا الواحد اللي موجود ولا ايه؟ اسماء بتتريق عليا. يا عم احنا في شغل والله وعندنا شغل وعندنا حاجات. لا بتهرج كده، لا دي كلامها ملوش اي معنى. anyway بعت لك مين الصبح بالحاجات اللي احنا عايزين نعمل لها داتا كلينسنج عشان انا عندي تريننج دلوقتي. كلمتك في البريك ما حدش رد عليا. عايزين ننظف الاكوبمنت، نشوف الرايت اوف هنعملها ازاي. عايزين نشوف الاسيت ال 50 ماتيريال دول هنستخدمهم ازاي، تعمل لهم تمانين. البي ام فانكشنال لوكيشن اللي هي ما بقتش موجوده، احنا عايزين ايه نشوف هنشيلها ازاي. يعني عايزين داتا كلينسنج للبي ام فانكشنال لوكيشن للاكوبمنت للموفبلز.
Okay, so this is the multi-tenant concept. Multiple applications can connect the tenant database and they have the complete isolation on that level. Then we got catalog approach and modern container approach. So earlier we will be having the schemas. Earlier applications are using the catalog based approach. In the catalog based approach, applications are having the data related to the schema. But in now we got HANA XSA, Extended Server Advanced. In this we got the container. So schema is again placed into a logical container. Every schema is placed into a logical container, that is known as container. So HANA development is related to HDI, HANA Development Infrastructure. So if we want to do HANA related development, we are having a tool. Tool name is Web IDE. So we are having different tools to manage the HANA software. We are having the tools to manage the HANA software. We are having Web IDE tool for development and administration. Web IDE for HANA. This tool is used for HANA development and modeling. Another tool is HANA Cockpit. HANA Cockpit tool is used for HANA administration. This tool we cannot do the HANA administration. So we can use Web IDE for HANA for development and modeling purpose, and we have another tool. Another tool is SAP HANA Cockpit. Cockpit is used for HANA Cockpit is used for HANA administration. And we have another tool. That tool name is known as HANA Studio. HANA Studio is depreciated, so we cannot use HANA Studio now. If we are going to use HANA Studio, several things are not going to work. HANA Studio is also there. HANA. Through HANA Studio, we can perform all the tasks. Right now, we are using two different tools. Web IDE for HANA for development and modeling. HANA Cockpit for administration. HANA Studio, you can perform all the tasks. We can perform admin, we can do development, and we can use the modeling also.
This HANA Studio will be decommissioned soon already.
Yeah, decommissioned
It
soon.
will become other tools.
Yeah, we have to use other tools like Web IDE for HANA or HANA Cockpit. Okay, so in this first we are going to discuss about Web IDE for HANA. Web IDE for HANA, it's a Eclipse based tool. So we can start this tool and we can do the development and modeling. So how it is going to work? In our training landscape, we have the URLs. Okay, I will just close again everything. In the first exercise, we have gone to the N drive, and HA100 we got the URLs. Here we got the Web IDE for HANA. URL would be there, so you can connect. You can use the user ID student and password was training1. After that, we can log in into the Web IDE for SAP HANA. Okay, so how it look like? You can see here, this is the development environment. Here you can do the development. On the left side, you can see first is development. Here you can create a project, file, new. You can create a project from a template. You can create a HANA related project. I can create a MTA project, multi-target application. I can create here. After creation of the project, the runtime objects will be generated. Runtime objects, you can see it from here, from the database explorer. And third tab here, it is settings. You can specify the settings like for debugging purpose, for other purpose. So if I go here in the workspace, we can create a project. For me, its project is already there. Here I can see the HANA database. Under HANA database, we can have the source. We have the the different kinds of views are there. We can build the views. So here we can perform all the development. So this is the view. View is a combination of joining of the two tables. So here you can see they are going to join the two tables, and we are having the fact table, and we can see the data preview also.
Where all this data stored?
Data is stored into the database. From here you can do the development. Data is stored into the database. In the view you can create, you can specify. So data you can see from the database explorer. Here the database explorer also. In the database explorer, what the tables it is referring, we can see the tables. Tables are here. We can see all the tables from here. Tables.
You mean SAP tables?
Yes, all the SAP tables, all tables are stored here in the database. This is the database explorer. In the database explorer, you can see the database. This is the container, tenants. You can connect to the tenant database. So you can connect to the container. You can connect to the tenant database. You can connect to the uh, application managed services instances and other. Okay, so this is the switching the views in the web ID. In the web ID, you are on the left hand side, you are having the development view, database explorer view. In the development view, you can create a project. Under project, you can define the things. After that, you can develop the objects. You can create a table. You can create, okay, let me show you here. If I go to the application development here, development tab, under development tab, I go to configuration. I can create a new I can create a new function, procedure, virtual table, role, database artifact, artificial analytic privileges, HDB artifact. So here we can do the development object we can create.
Which language I should use?
Different languages for different purpose. Here you can use HTML5, Python. It will depend which module you have created. Like here, you are HDB. HDB means HANA database. HANA database, you are using the SQL plus. HANA database, you are using the SQL plus. Suppose I want to create HTML5. So I can include a project also. New project, new module, basic HTML5. So in this, if you want to develop HTML5, you can use basic HTML. You want to use Node.js, you want to use Fiori, you can use Fiori HTML5, UL5, you can use Java module, you can use the Java. It will depend which kind of module. It's a MTA. You can create a MTA project. MTA project means multi-target application. Means in this application, component 1 is written in HTML5, component 2 is written in Java part, component 3 is written in HANA language, SQL script it is written. So it is a multi-target application. You create application that will be having different part. Some would be front end part. Front end part is developed in HTML5, so it is going to processed in web pages. Second part is JavaScript. Third part is it is running into the HANA. So you can create in multiple languages.
Suppose I created a program here from here. How can
Hmm.
I link this program to the SAP end user?
SAP end user, how they are going to use this software, this program? They can use
Yeah.
through. It will depend which program they have used. They can use the browser. They can use Android, iOS. They can use any media. It depends how you what you have developed there in that particular program. So no need of SAP GUI. SAP GUI is not mandatory. This is through, like, suppose I have created a program here. I have created a program here. They can access from different views. They can access from browser. They can access from mobile device. They can access from different channels. It will depend which module you have created.
Make it easy for us. I
Yeah.
went to this one and created the report, and I need to grant some users this report, access on this report.
What
How
report?
can I do something?
What report you have created? This is not.
Report, bring the data from sales order and who is created this sales order and the sales order cost and something like this. And already by this tool created some reports, and I have script, and I need to grant the users to run it or to use it.
Right.
I'm
So
trying to make it useful for us. How can I use this function? It is not some data in books, and yeah, idea explained how to use it, how to take the benefits from that one.
see the report. So first of all, here you are not going to create a report. Here in HANA, it is known as view. HANA, it is known as view. We like in ABAP, so we got two different things here. Okay. We got S4 HANA, S4 HANA, S4 HANA. S4 HANA is ABAP language. In ABAP language, you are going to develop the reports. Reports are working based on some tables, right? So these tables are not stored here into S4 HANA. These tables are stored into HANA database. So we got this is our HANA database. Okay. In HANA platform, this is our tenant database. In this, suppose I just say the tenant database name is, this is our tenant database. In tenant database, we are having a schema. That schema, that schema is, in this schema you got Mara table, Mara table, Mara table, right? Mara table, that you are accessing this table in ABAP report, right? This application, you log in here, go to SE38, and SE38 you have created a report that is accessing that you created a report that is accessing the data from the Mara table, right? Now if you want to create a report here in HANA case, so that is your query, like how to create a report in HANA. So in HANA case, it is not a report. In HANA case, it is known as view. HANA case, it is known as view. So you can create a view. So you can log in into the HANA server using the tool. The tool name is Web IDE for HANA. Web IDE for HANA. Here you are going to log in. Here you are running the T code using SAP GUI. Here you don't have to run any T code here. You go to the Web IDE for HANA. You create a view. You create a view, like you created a view 1. This view will be getting the data from this particular table, or it can join intersection. We have multiple options there. And then this view, how to access this view? This view can be accessed from any BI tool. BI tool. BI tool could be a Excel. BI tools could be, we have different BI tools are there, like Excel, OLAP for Excel. You are having Lumira, you are having Excel CS. We have different BI tools. BI tools can get this. Got it? Or so you are going to create a HANA view. How to see this view? This view you can see with the BI tools, business intelligence tool, like Microsoft Excel, OLAP for Excel, Lumira, Excel CS, or through Web ID. Through Web ID, you can also see this view. In Web ID, you can also see the data. But you cannot see this view in the SE38T code or from SAP GUI. To see this SAP GUI, you cannot use this one. If you want to use this one, then you have to use some again report here. This report is going to get the data from this view. So you can again create a report. This report is going to get the data from this particular view. Because if you want to see some data inside the report, then obviously you have to create another report that will fetch the data from this view. But this view you cannot see from SAP GUI. To use SAP GUI, you cannot use SAP GUI because this view is in different format. This view, here it is in the different format. Got it, or still having doubt?
Got it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here we can develop the views. So how to access these views? To access these views, we are having the different tools like OLAP for Office, Lumira, Excelsius. We can use. You want to see here? Okay. We are having the different views. Views are a combination of the tables. So we can join the tables like here. We have developed some views already, some views in the solution. They are having the views. Sales view, US sales view. In this US sales view, you are having the fact table. Fact table is going to join with the, you can see here it is a star join. Mapping is there. The joining of the two tables are there, and then we got the semantic. In the semantic you can have the currency conversion, input parameters, output parameters, and then we can see the data preview. But this view you cannot see in the SAP GUI. SAP GUI we cannot see this one. If we want to see in SAP GUI, we have to create a report and then we have to fetch the data from them. So how to create a new development project in SAP HANA? We have to go to a module, and then we can create a MTA, multi-target application. Multi-target application can contain the different modules. It can contain the module related to HANA database development, HTML5, Java module, Node Java, Fiori or Fiori module. Then after like developing the object, you have
Can
to,
I add a module similar to
yes.
MM module, finance? Can I create HR or HCM, for example,
No,
module
these
from
are the
here?
these are the module for the language. So for module you cannot create for the app, because these are, here you can use the ABAP module. Suppose you want to develop some views in ABAP language, then obviously in ABAP module you can create here. But to run the ABAP objects, you must have to like put the ABAP engine also here. These are the programming languages. These are not the like HR module, finance module. These are not those modules. These are the modules related to like development in HANA development, HTML5 development, Java development, Node Java development, Fiori development. These are not the those modules. Those modules are in those modules are in S4 HANA. In S4 HANA, and all the modules are ABAP language. All the modules are developed in ABAP language. So here we are having the different modules. Here we are having finance module, HR module. All the modules are developed in ABAP language. But in HANA case, you can do development in multiple languages. You can develop in uh, in Node Java. You can develop objects in different languages. Any language. It means any language you can develop. Any language. You just have to implement the module. Suppose you want to develop the uh, development in Java, so you have to use Java module. You want to develop anything in the ABAP module, so you have to use ABAP module. But by default, they are having only these modules are available. HDB module, basic HTML, Java module, and Node Java module they are having. But if you want to do development in Python, yes, you can develop in Python also. Just you have to provide the Python runtime environment.
يعني normally when we are talking about module, for it comes to our head quickly.
Yes, yes, I understand. FIHR, right. This is development module. This is
Yeah,
development.
clear now.
Then after like developing the objects, you have to build the objects. When we are going to build the objects, the object related tables, views will be generated, and in the database explorer we can see the data inside those tables and views. So in the web IDE for database explorer, you will be having the schema. Schema will come under container, and you can database explorer, you can see the containers. Container will be having the is container will be having the schema. Under schema we will be having the table, views, indexes, everything will be under that schema. Okay, so now we have to do exercise number 2. Get started with web IDE for HANA. So in this exercise we are going to work with web IDE for SAP HANA, and we have to Okay, so now we have to work with getting started with web ID for HANA. So in this, we have to first log in into the web ID for HANA URL, that is under HA100 folder. You can start using this ID, and then you have to import a ready-made, advanced project to your workspace and review the development object. So how to do this? You have to import a existing project into your workspace. So you can first see and then you can try by yourself, and you can. Okay, so after login you have to go to the development here. Under you are having the workspace. You click on the workspace, file, import, file or project. Then you have to specify the file name, which is located under HA100 folder. HA100 zip file is there. Then you have to put into the project, import to project. You can specify the project name. I am going to put project name 20. Where is your group number? And then you have to import. You have to import the project. Okay, so you can see here after it has created a here HA100 underscore 20 HA100. Under here we can go to HANA database module. Here we have only one database module, HANA database module. Under source we will be having the solutions. We are having, so this is our project. Under this project we are having uh, development objects are there. Expand the source folder in your imported project until you reach the solutions folder, and you can see there are several uh, views are created. So in this we have HANA calculation view. In this calculation view, how the data is represented, but you can see here everything is red color. Red color means you have created a project but you have not like generated the objects have been not generated. So here it is red color. CVD product, you can see the data. Open, right click on this one, open data preview. Cannot read the properties because it is not built. The project is not built. We have just imported a project but the project is not built. After that,
You mean the file is still compressed and we need to uncompress to read?
no, we have just imported the project. We after that we have to build.
This is a compressed file.
Yeah, it is. But we have unzip also. When we have imported that, we have selected the option unzip. When we have imported the option, then we have the when we are imported the file or project, we have this option uh, unzip also. We selected that folder HA100 zip file. Then we have the extract archive. So we have unzip also. After unzipping this, you have to like perform other things also. You have to assign to the project setting. You have to go to project setting. In the project setting, you have to assign to a particular module uh, space. We have not assigned to a space, so we have to assign to a development space. Development space. Organization is SAP. Development space. Save it and then close it. Project now you have saved, and after that we have to build the project also. After building the project, okay, so we will follow one by one. Then build the runtime of your development project. Assign your project to the development space and check the status of DI builder. After that, build the HDB module. build the HDB module of your project so that the database container can be generated. So after that, we can see that we got the container. HA100 underscore 20 is our project, and same way we will be having a container. But there is no, if we go to the database explorer, and from here if I want to add the container related to HA100 underscore 20, there is no container for that one. So I have to build the container for that one. So to build the container, again I have to go back and HDB module, and here we have the option build. Now the build is started. Build of HA100 underscore 20 HANA database module is started. Building of the, so whatever the tables, views are there. So now everything package, it is going to create a JSON file. The container is going to be started and building, synchronizing the file with the container, fuzzy search, and all these modules are. Earlier we are not getting any data, you have seen. Now we will go again in the calculation view and we will try to check the data preview. We are having now the data. Inside this data we can analyze the data also, currency, product group, product text. So you can analyze the data also from here. Raw data will be there. So after building you will be having the data. Without building there will be no data. So you have to build the project. After building the project, yeah. So these two activities you have to do. Now you can do by yourself and let me know if anybody has